If you're a veteran and you've been in the claim space, you've definitely heard and probably researched on your own Combat Craig. For those that don't know, please look up his channel because he had a pretty large and growing audience of people that trusted in the things that he said and the way that he spoke about them. So I've just heard of the news that Combat Craig, or his real name Louis Bauer, has passed away sometime fairly recently. And the only reason that I know this is because I'd kept up with other veterans in the space that talk about the claims process. And this video today is to acknowledge the life of Combat Craig. And I don't know him personally. I've watched his videos when I was learning in my own claims process. And in fact, when I was at some very low points, he was one of the people that gave me hope that I can get through this process, learn it myself, and an inspiration to hopefully make a YouTube channel to do the same for other people. So I had watched Combat Craig's videos definitely a lot more when I was working on that process myself, but he was one of the most unique and interesting people to speak about this topic on YouTube. I would say he had his own brand, his own voice. He definitely had his own way of viewing the world that was shown on his YouTube videos. And Combat Craig wasn't just this image of a business and a brand. This was a real human being. And he talked openly about his distrust for the VA. He also talked openly about some things in his personal life and how they do affect him within his disabilities and just within his own life. And so I think we should value Combat Craig as the human being he was, as the person, not just the internet persona behind this brand. Because Louis lived a whole life that maybe we don't see. And he lived with suffering that maybe we don't see, just like many veterans do. And one thing that I encourage everybody on my channel of a lot less people than his to do for me is to give their thoughts to the family or their prayers, whatever your belief system might be, to the family and friends that knew Louis deeper and more impactfully than Combat Craig, how we all know him. And I know a ton of people are also going to be affected by this, people that are engaged with his communities, that go out of their way to have communicated with him in the past. I'm sure it's challenging for anybody that knew him in any capacity more than just viewing his videos. It stands as a reminder outside of losing a good, important, informative veteran in our space that we are living today. We are living every day without any other day guaranteed. If you are watching my video right now, tomorrow is not guaranteed. So as our thoughts go out to Louis, your thoughts should go out to the gratitude that we all have on this planet every day that we have it on this planet. There are days that I forget this. There are days that I'm selfishly worried about my own life and this little problem that's going on. And then I tell myself, I'm like, I have to zoom out, one layer at a time. Like, does this matter next month? Does this problem matter in a year? Am I even going to remember it in 5 years? And then on the grand scheme of things, does this part matter within my whole lifetime? Of course, some issues do and some don't. But losing somebody in any community is one of those stark reminders that you might not be here as well. Because unfortunately, all of us aren't going to be here one day. For me, I never got the opportunity to thank Combat Craig for the information that he put out on the internet. It was one of the most useful pieces, especially like I said, a few years ago when I was struggling through this process. I needed the motivation. I needed the information from somewhere, and he was one of the first people. So if you fall in this category, put out your thoughts. Live every day the best of your ability to the best that you can. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.